Hey guys, Angry Comet here, and we are going to be getting you started with Game Maker. So first things first is we want to get it. So type in Game Maker Studio, and the first link should be the one. It's made by Yo-Yo Games. Game Maker has, you can make some pretty decent games with it. It doesn't just have to be retro style. It can, like, see this one. It's not really retro. It's got good graphics. If you've ever played Spelunky, the original one was made in that. So was Hotline Miami and Super Crate Box. Those are all made in Game Maker Studio. If you have the paid version, you can make games for all these different platforms. You can make it for phones. You can make it for Xbox. It's funny that actually now that I notice it, they only have Xbox One, but they have all the way back to PS3 and PS4. Anyway, the free version though, you can only make it in Windows, which is what we will be using. Other than that, there really isn't much limitations. Anyway, go down here to click Get Game Maker, and you'll see the different comparisons. You can get the paid ones if you want, but just use the free one. Instead of logging in over here, register. I'm not going to do that because I already have an account. And then install Game Maker. You should get a download, stuff like that. But anyway, you should install Game Maker. It's pretty self-explanatory. You should know how to install something. And then you basically open up to this window. Here's like your previous projects. You can open a project if it's not one of your previous, like, last 8 projects. Here you can make a new project. You can import. There's just some other stuff, but probably ignore that. Go ahead and create a new one. Call it whatever you want. Just click create. So I've done multiple takes on this video, so I'll just open this one so I don't want to keep making new empty projects. Before we even get into talking about this, you'll notice my icons here on the left are bigger than yours. So go to File, Preferences, and over here to Big Resource Tree Icons. You will need to restart the program, but other than that, you should be set. Also, if you would like, you can change the theme. GM Green is the one I have right now, which is the default. You can do HTML5, which basically everything on here that's green turns orange, and GM8 makes everything white. So if you don't like the dark theme of this, you can go for the lighter theme. I'll just stay with the default because it looks the best. Over here you can open files and stuff. You can save with this button. Once you've built your game, you can click Run the Game you can click this little play button to play your game and test it out. You can run it in debug mode. Over here, if you have the paid version, you can select which, what you're trying to make it in, which platform. So over here we have sprites. This is where it'll list all the textures and images you'll be using in your game. So if, let's say you're making Pac-Man, you'll have a little yellow dude, and you'll have the colored ghosts and your wall sprite. That's what sprites are, in case you didn't know. You can right-click, do Create New Sprite, mess around with that if you want. That's how you make a new sprite. You have sounds, which you can add sounds to your game. Backgrounds, which instead of well, basically it's a background image. Paths we won't be getting into most likely. Scripts we might. It's basically just code. Shaders, fonts. Fonts we'll probably end up using if you have text. You can change like the size and the font style of it. You can also change the color, but that's not in fonts. Timelines. This is like timers. You could have like enemies spawn in waves. You would work with these. Objects though. Basically, this is anything that you need to interact with or control. So let's see, an object would be like a wall, or a player, or an enemy. Those would be objects. And so you connect your sprite to your object. So you have a player object, but it's just invisible. So you have to add a player sprite to the object to make it visible and look like your player. Rooms, it's basically the scene that your game is in. So let's say you're making Pac-Man, basically the whole game, you're gonna put all your objects in this room. Everything else you probably won't be getting into. But this is basically everything you'll need to know. Um, if you don't want to do right click and do create new sprite, you can also do stuff over here. So like here creates a sprite, and this one creates an object and font and stuff like that. You can click these little icons up here to create a new one, but I just right click. Other than that, I think that's about it. Oh, and here you can save as well if you don't want to use this icon. But here you can do create application, and what that does is it makes a little executable file that you can put on your desktop. You can email it to your friends or put it on a flash drive, and this is like the final game once you're done building it. This is like the file you give to people to allow them to play it, so they put that on their desktop to play it or something. Other than that, I think this is everything you're going to be needing to know to get started. So thanks for watching, and go select one of my you can go select one of my full game tutorials if you want to make an entire game, or you can go select a feature tutorial, which I'll be having, which basically is just one small aspect of your game. So like maybe you want to add shadows. I don't need a whole series just to add shadows. It'll just be one video. Or if you want to know how to make a health bar or something. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're on my YouTube channel. If you're on my site, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. But continue to check back for more videos, and so yeah, go start making some games.